I moved my company from Menlo Park, California to Poland. If you'd like to follow in my footsteps, here's what you need to know. First question, are there any successful Polish software companies? Absolutely yes. The biggest, most famous one is live chat. If you've ever gone to a website and a little box pops up in the lower right-hand corner and an operator types, "Hello, how can I help you?" That is most likely going to be live chat. They're publicly traded here on the stock market. Most people don't know they're a Polish company. If you go to their English language website, it says New York City. They really should tell the whole world that they're a Polish company. Shame on them. I much prefer Witcher, a billion-dollar gaming company. They're proud to tell the whole world that they're Polish. Brainly is an educational software company. If you have kids, you may have heard about them. For software developers, the big one is CK Editor. It's a WYSIWYG HTML editor written in JavaScript for the browser. I use it on my website. I think it's the leading one. It's free. When I was doing an iPhone application, keyboard for the blind, I considered using the Ivona text-to-speech. I guess they're really good because they got bought by Amazon, and presumably when you invite Alexa into your house to listen in on your conversations, that's a Polish woman, Ivana, who's doing the speaking. Great US accent. And finally, if you're in the cell phone world, you must know about Estimote Beacons. That's also a Polish company. So lots of great Polish software companies, but what about the hottest new technologies? I think that right now the hottest technology is machine learning, deep learning using NVIDIA chips. They're actually outsourcing to a Polish company. Another group is doing medical diagnostics. There are several groups doing natural language processing and, of course, facial recognition. Oops, sorry. Okay, so what about technical conferences in Poland? There's a website, crossweb.pl, that aggregates information from about all of the technical conferences. I think there are a lot of technical conferences in Poland just because it's so much less expensive to have one here than it is to have one elsewhere in Western Europe. You want to be outside of the Eurozone. So if you go to crossweb.pl, you'll find it's mostly targeted at the Polish market, so it's mostly in Polish, but just use Google Chrome and it'll do instantaneous translation for you. All of the bigger conferences, all of the presentations are in English. I should say all of the bigger technical conferences, all of the presentations are in English. The business conferences will still have a lot of Polish speakers. If you go to the website, it's organized by date. They also you can click on any city and see all of the conferences by date for that city. But really, most of the conferences are either in Kraków or Warsaw, Wrocław, some in Gdańsk, Tri-Cities, and some in Poznań. The larger meetings will all be in English. The smaller meetings will be a mix of Polish and English. What happens is those people who work in international companies will probably be speaking in English. Those people who work in Polish companies will probably be speaking in Polish. What you do is you write to them a few days before the meeting and say, "Listen, I'd really like to come, but I don't speak Polish. Is it okay if the presentations will be in English?" And usually they'll accommodate. It just takes the speaker a few days to practice, look up all the critical words. They're very happy. They're very happy to talk to you. If you're a native English speaker, everyone will love to talk to you. I have a problem. I would like to practice my technical Polish, but I almost never get a chance to. They all switch to technical English right away. If you're a native English speaker, you will be very popular here in Poland. Most of these conferences are in Kraków, Warsaw, or Wrocław, very few in the smaller cities. What about venture capital? Well, there's a rich and vibrant venture capital industry here. If you go to polandtrade.info/venture-capitalists, all in small letters, it'll take you to these links. The first one is the Organization of Polish Investors. The second one is run by my friend Russian, Information for Startups. He has information about venture capitalists, angel investors, incubators, startups, other programs, databases. Really good website. If you have any questions about this industry, I highly recommend you talk to him. He's very knowledgeable. There's the Startup Poland database, which has a section on investors. You can click over to there for my website. And the last one you should know about, I don't think it's in production yet. They've contracted with the Israeli startup database to do a branded one for Poland, so that will also have Polish investors. It's not up yet. As soon as I hear about it, I will link to it also. Which city should you consider? Well, if you go to polandtrade.info/cities, there's a clickable map of the 16 major cities. Everybody's needs are different. If you want advice on what my personal opinion on these different cities are, give me a call. I'm happy to chat with you for a while. When you click on those, it'll take you to a branch of my tree, and there'll be some information there, but primarily the primary link will take you to invest in that city. Every city is going to have an invest office. The only exception is Katowice. Since I live in Katowice, there's a big branch on my tree with all kinds of information about Katowice. What if you don't want one of the big cities? Maybe you have a big factory, or maybe you just want to live on a farm in a forest. What you probably want to do then is you want to contact the different provinces. If you go to polandtrade.info/provinces, you'll find a map. There'll be links there to all of the different invest in that province. Give them a call. They'll answer all of your questions. The other resource you should know about is the Chambers of Commerce. Again, for my if you go to polandtrade.info/chambers-of-commerce, it'll give you a link to the National Chamber of Commerce site. They have 150 different chambers of commerce. 18 are international chambers of commerce. 65 are industry-specific chambers of commerce. And the rest are regional and local chambers of commerce. Not all chambers of commerce are listed here. You have to pay a fee, so there's some in Poland that aren't listed here. I know there's 6 Polish-American chambers of commerce in the US. I also don't think they're listed here. They'll be on my website. So lots of great resources. All of these guys will be happy to answer your phone calls and emails in English. They'll all provide you with excellent service. You just have to be aware that each one is funded by a different group, and they're each going to have their preferred list of vendors. So my advice to you is to contact all the different relevant groups, ask them all the same questions, take all those lists. There'll be overlapping lists, merge them into a single list, and then if you'd be kind enough to post the results on the appropriate branch of polandtrade.info, it's organized by industrial sector and by geography. If you'd be kind enough to post your results, pretty soon it'll be the world's largest and best directory of international trade with Poland. I should also tell you about the overnight trains in Poland. In the US, they're generally a disaster. In Western Europe, they're shutting down, but in Central and Eastern Europe, Poland is now considered Central Europe. They're just brilliant. Here's a map of the overnight trains. I won't bore you with the details. I would like to just point out one place here, which is Katowice. It has the most overnight trains. I live in Katowice. I just love overnight trains. I don't have to show up at the airport a couple hours ahead of time. I show up at the train station 5 minutes before it leaves. It's a 10-minute walk from my house. I don't have to buy the tickets ahead of time. I tried to buy a ticket to Berlin the other day on an airline. It was a huge price. The overnight trains, you just have to buy the tickets 2 or 3 hours, but I think it's 3 hours before they depart. I've never had a problem. I once had a problem. You have to be careful on peak travel days, like in the summer, you have to buy your tickets ahead of time. Okay, that's just common sense. Live and learn. I often go south to the Visegrad countries. Why did I choose Katowice? Let me just tell you a little bit. I'm not pushing Katowice, but I just want to give you a flavor of one of the choices. Everybody's going to need a different city depending upon what your needs are. But I chose Katowice partially because I can connect to the Visegrad countries, partially because it's right in the middle of the technical conferences in Krakow, Warsaw, and Wrocław. So I bought an apartment there. Here is the view from my apartments, right in the middle of town. 5 minutes to the train station, 5 minutes walk to the bus station, 10 minutes walk to the train station, overlooking the Spodek flying saucer. It's an arena. It's only cost me $55,000 for a 500 square foot apartment, 1/20th of what it would have been in San Francisco. And in San Francisco, it would have been an empty apartment. Here is beautifully furnished. All the cabinetry was custom built to fit all the nooks and crannies, really solid furniture. Complete turnkey operation. So in the kitchen, all the pots, pans, dishes, plates, knives, forks. In the bedrooms, bathrooms, sheets, blankets, pillows, towels, soap. There was like even laundry detergent in there, tea, coffee, spices, everything you'd ask for. This is the most solidly built building I have ever seen in my life. I think the communists built it to impress the locals. Was it perfect? No. Well, nothing's perfect. It had these really ugly pink curtains, which we had to get rid of, but no big deal. For fun, I go to language meetups. For Americans, on Thursday, there's a Spanish language meetup, if you speak Spanish. And of course, there's the English language meetup. They're both on the same day. If you speak both languages, then what I recommend, just go to the Spanish language meetup. Any day of the week, you'll find people who want to speak to you in English. What am I doing in Katowice? Well, I run pythonlinks.info, the world's largest Python directory. Professionally, as I work as a Python and machine learning recruiter. I'm also now growing polandtrade.info, helping companies move to Poland. If you have any questions about moving to Poland, give me a call. I invite you to follow me on Twitter as PL_trade or Python links. I invite you to contact me. Go to my website, polandtrade.info, click on contact. You can even use my US phone number. Just be mindful, there's a 9-hour time difference. We're 9 hours later here in Poland. So if you call me in the mornings. Thank you very much for your time.